Welcome back.
Whoop.
We locked to the Flip Life Radio Show
With
right
Kingpin.
now. Welcoming our special guest, man like Kingpin, just stepped in the building to the microphone.
Hey, what's up, people? Massive shout out to everyone locked in. I got people on the live Facebook feed as well, which is new to me. But I'm loving the interaction that everyone's giving. Loving the debate. I was locked in last week as well when you had my girl Shay on. I just love the banter and the way you lot go about talking about subject matter.
You've already been in a debate today.
Oh, have I? Yeah. Okay.
Like, literally, he wasn't getting involved in like subplot of the debate.
Okay.
When we found out like Jazz don't like gigs.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh no.
So what do you
I
think?
didn't even say that.
You say,
I didn't even say that.
That's just how you feel, and it's all right. You don't have to like gigs, but you have backing right now. It seems.
You know what it is with this particular question about who's the most influential rapper?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we to get to specifics, it's almost like we'll have to reframe the whole question because what is influence? You know, what does influence? What do we mean by influential? Is it if we're talking about sales? Yeah, in terms, and then we're talking about an audience that are clearly listening and therefore picking up on that artist. Then we'd have to look at the rapper from the UK with the most sales. Yeah, but then if we're talking about influence on style, it might have no reflection on sales. It might be who rappers are feeling.
Well, that's where I started it. So I started it meaning style, and then it took some other directions, because I didn't say what it was.
Exactly,
so,
and I just think sometimes with these questions, it's all about how we frame it and different people's perceptions, and sometimes us like rappers ourselves, you know, we might have a whole different perspective on what an influential MC is compared to someone who's just like someone who just likes to experience hip hop. Their idea of what an influential MC is going to be completely different from the perspective of someone who actually raps. You know what I mean?
Also, most people that have been commenting, they haven't really been talking about style.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. They're talking more about who was there first.
They were last time in the last time I made a debate. I think it was a bit split though.
Yeah, I just mean today, like what I've been reading back, people have been like mentioning people that I don't know a lot of people who rap like them.
You know who, like, what I found that there was a real interesting point. Someone talked about, like, I was reading the thread that you started when you first started. When you started, you posted something on Facebook about who's the influential, and that got a whole load of people talking, and it was like, okay, view previous comments, click again, view previous comments, click again, and I was like, a lot of people been pitching in on this. But one of the comments that I found interesting, like, it was almost like on a whole different tip, was like, someone said brain tax.
Someone threw that.
And I thought to myself, which, like, okay,
someone got really offended by that as well.
Of course. You know what I mean? Like, from my understanding, because I never knew him personally, but from my understanding, he pissed off half of the UK game. That's an influence in itself, but beyond that, just in terms of
working with labels again.
In terms of that, he started a label, and he's behind that whole Lowlife movement, which arguably a lot of people discovered Chester P and
I focus.
Exactly. So he started the low life movement, which came through with a whole load of artists like Verb T, who's still doing things now. Like, I discovered Kalashnikov through features that he did on Jess' album, you know, and I've discovered Jess through features that he did on Low Life projects. And like, you know, like I said, like Chester P, there was a whole number of serious artists that are still about now or still got a reputation that came through that Low Life movement.
Even the Council of State of Mind album came out on Low Life.
Oh, there we go. Skinny Man, arguably one of the most, like, for UK hip hop albums, one of the most poignant albums and pieces that I put out. That was out on Low Life. Now, if you go, like, you could say, oh, is Skinny Man the influence, or do you frame it from a more of a distance and say, yo, Joey Brains was the guy, or Brain Tax was the guy who put that label out, who said, here, I'm going to publish your work, Skinny Man, and put it out. So you know what I mean?
But then do we start, like, crediting, like, Universal Records for other, like, you know what I mean?
But the thing is,
like someone who's really not hip-hop at all, like, they're sitting in the office.
But they're not rappers, are they? And their whole approach to it is not hip-hop. I would say because he's a rapper that had a sort of entrepreneurial angle. I'm not saying he's my influential one, it's an angle.
If he did rip everyone off, I was about to say that's not very hip hop.
No, it's not.
Actually,
it's not.
It could be in another way, but no.
It's ghetto.
That's Puff Daddy and Birdman, and these lot are known for.
But as your guest, can if I was to pitch in on my perspective of what was influential from my view.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
I would say that in the like hip hop has always been there on some underground level. Like if you look beneath the mainstream, there's hip hop still. Yeah. Like even when MC Hammer was about, which was some commercial. There was
big album.
There was hip hop though. There was other artists in and around that area, real hip hop underground stuff. Yeah. So my point is like, it always kind of exists on these two parallels. You got this kind of mainstream, glitzy, glamorous stuff, and then you got some raw underground hip hop. Yeah.
And the two meet sometimes.
Yeah, but in the UK, we didn't really have this urban scene. I don't believe anyway. I don't think like. I don't think we had an urban scene until like coming on the 90s, like little bit. When we had what we thought was a cool city movement, it was kind of like more soul music, like Omar and that. There's nothing like. And then for me, the changing point was when I started listening to, like, I kind of missed London Posse. I missed it. I had to go in retrospect. But I knew they existed on the underground level, but I was more influenced by Stevie Hyper D.
Okay.
Shabba and Skibba D. Okay. And these were guys that were just turntables on, pirate radio. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shabba, the lyrical dapper, and that right there, it was some rawness,
and that's hip hop right there.
For me, it is, and it's very much, you know what? It's got that ragga influence as well, where it's like, you know, two turntables and man's just dubs in over the beat, don't even know what the beat is. I'll just dubs my lyric over it. But when I heard those guys, I was like, yo, we can do this in the UK. Until then, I didn't believe, as I had the. Not the ability, but it was like, nah, this isn't a privilege for us. This is Americans do this. But then I saw these UK guys doing it. Then it kind of evolved for me. Garage came. And for me, jungle was like the urban London city movement. This is what I'm talking about, the beginning of an urban scene. Then garage came. And suddenly, you had the Heartless crew. I'm talking about my journey, with it, and so you would see,
Bushkin.
there you go, Bushkin,
Pyro Family,
Mighty Mo as well, you know what I mean, and Fonty. Them mans were just going in on these garage beats, and so the whole garage scene come about, and everyone had the champagne and the loafers and going to the rave and who looked slick, and it was all a bit glossy, but it was that urban London culture, and then there was an evolution. I think I reckon if you are so solid. And they were real with you, they probably say, we used to listen to them a lot on Mission FM. That whole culture of spraying on the garage. So then all of a sudden So Solid come about. And then all these other Pay As You Go crew. Pay As You Go crew. All these other crews, Roll Deep, all these crews. That for me was the beginning of grime. Because now we got the beats. Because if you listen, even grime is still double time. It's still the same tempo. You could probably mix a grime joint with a garage joint if you're clever enough DJ. It's the same sort of tempo. So what we got here was an evolution. I think grime kind of happened on accident in a way. I think, my opinion, disclaimer. Them guys were young producers. If you listen to some of the early grime production, it sounded like it was made on a PlayStation, but it was just you know, we had a youth workshop, let's turn up and let's start spraying bars.
I think a lot of it probably was,
and so, but it was now, what was happening is the London scene and the urban inner city scene was taking off. And it was getting noticed. And people going to Napa, playing records now. Everyone from Birmingham, Manchester, all over are centralising in this one tiny island. And man could have a pop record off of that. Because you play 21 Seconds now, and it's not just Londoners hearing it. It's someone, holiday makers from Birmingham, Manchester heads. All these heads that had come to this holiday island, suddenly they're going back to their cities and going, have you heard this joint? I heard that in the summer. And it took the movement nationwide. Then when there's money to be made, who gets involved? Bigger labels. So what I'm saying is,
and it was police.
Exactly, and the police. So what I'm saying is, for me, it was kind of like jungle started this thing, which evolved. Then the garage started MCing on it. Then come grime, and then suddenly Wiley, all that, and now like the whole road rap and grime scene is kind of like. It's different, but it's almost part of the same window.
Are the same,
exactly.
Era,
so I kind of see that was an evolution, and if you track that as an evolution, for me, the influences start with Stevie Hyper D. God rest his soul. Skibba, Shabba. MCs like that, and then the evolution comes, and you know when it goes so far, you don't even know where you came from. You don't even know who. It's like them ones where you don't even know who your great granddad is. But you just carry his traits. You're just one of his ancestors. Realistically, I don't know what my great granddad's name is for real, but I'm his ancestor.
I saw a picture online the other day of you and Skepta, and you was looking like a baby.
Man, I still look the same, baby. Come on.
You were looking young as a.
Yeah, but I knew Skepta when, like, for me, Skepta was a DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We went to the same school. You know,
okay.
Yeah. So we went to the same school. He was just a DJ. You know, at that time.
In that picture, you was the rapper. And
I was the rapper. He was the DJ. Yeah, and the boy in the middle was a DJ too. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, it wasn't even Dynamite was at that same gig. Miss Dynamite, who we're crediting as one of the female. And I'm telling you, at that time, me, Skepta, Dynamite, all in the same room, and there was probably one man and a dog with a pint of beer. It was in the old Vibe bar. No one was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
No one was there.
Yeah,
no one knew who we was, and it just goes to show you a lot of the time. Sometimes talent isn't enough to bring people. Yeah, because they were just as talented then as we are. You know what I mean? All right, it might have evolved a bit, but we're still the same talented individuals. But now they got the hype and the mechanism and the merchandise and everything behind them.
Then people can see.
Then people would step in a room and fill out 10,000
The madness
heads.
is me and Ben went to school with Miss Dynamite, so around
There
that
you go.
same time she was doing raves in the school. They were popping. Trust me.
Oh yeah. She's. I knew she was talented. You know.
No, we used to have like a concert, like a band's concert every year, and we performed and stuff there. Like you'd have just like people doing cover songs and in between, because the garage thing was popping at the time, we just had someone like a DJ playing a couple garage tunes, and Miss Dynamite was there just MCing like in between, like in between the sets, shutting it down. You get me?
Yeah, do you know what? Even straight away then, like my boys who'd come to that show was like, "Who's that girl, man? She's fire." You know what I mean? And this was before she dropped Boo.
Yeah.
You know, she was fire, and everyone was like, "Yo, this girl is fire," and I was like, "Yeah," but you know, what about me? but she was fire. But you know, like again, you know, from that evolution, I found like I used to spit to garage and do the whole napper thing.
Literally just gonna ask you. So what was you spitting at that time?
I was spitting. Yeah, I was spitting more garage stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I was spitting more garage bars. Yeah, I used to do jungle. Yeah, then I did a bit of garage. Yeah, and kind of involved with that journey. But what happened was I went out and studied. I was up in Nottingham, and I discovered a lot more what was going on hip hop wise in London. I was like, whoa, I missed all this. It was like that was going on parallel, but I was mainly caught up by what was happening with this inner city urban scene and I'm missing out on what was hip hop culture here. And I found that hip hop, because of the tempo of it, it gave more room for expression. At that time, garage and jungle, and still to this day, if you go to a jungle rave, the MC will stand behind the decks. Yeah, and ravers, they don't all face one stage. They will face in different ways. One's facing the back wall, the other's at the bar. Half of them are so mash up, they can't even hear what the MC's saying. They're just hearing a rhythm. I'm not knocking everyone. It's your Friday night. Do what you want to do. But in hip hop, as an artist, your opinion matters more. People are standing, everyone's staring at that stage. They want to see what the artist isn't hidden behind the decks. The artist is up front. You got to command the stage now. It goes from like being an MC to being an artist. And I found hip hop gave me more room to have expression, to actually talk about something, subject matter. And so that's why I kind of started to say, you know what? I want to spit on hip hop. I've always liked hip hop, but never thought I could participate. And now I'm thinking, I saw stuff from Lowlife, I saw Chester P, Jess, all this lot, and I was like, yo, I can spit on hip hop. That's what I want to do. There's a London hip hop scene, a UK hip hop scene, should I say. I want to get involved. And so I started writing my bars on hip hop tempos.
Wicked, man.
Do you think there's a respect between the two? Feel like the grime side and the hip hop side, or the garage.
Well, you said
side
now
and
that
the
the the road rap and the grime and road rap, whatever you want to call it, UK rap. They separate UK rap and UK hip hop. I think them kind of guys respect each other. But back then, what was that with the UK hip hop quote unquote kind of scene? You feel they respected each other?
I think there's always kind of been this weird hip hop versus grime thing going on, whether we want to admit it or not.
I agree.
Yeah. You know, I think and like even audiences, I think the one thing about hip hop audiences, like raw grassroots hip hop audiences, sometimes I feel like, yo, guys, let's let go of the past and let's embrace something new. Yeah? And that even goes for UK hip hop artists making hip hop. Like, you still talk like even promoters. Like I speak to promoters that are putting on support acts, and they want to put on someone who currently isn't that relevant. Yeah. You like, for example, I don't know, but say Kalashnikov hasn't just dropped an album, but Cy Philly has.
Shots fired.
So no, but what I'm saying is, so for example, Kalashnikov hasn't just dropped an album, but someone like Cy Philly has.
He has, yeah. Banging album as well.
Exactly,
album,
the 11th hour. Put him on. Put Cy Philly on the support. But the promoters are kind of like blissfully ignorant. Like, can I get what's Kalashnikov doing? Can I book Kalashnikov as the support act?
Yeah.
Like, bro, get relevant. Like,
why do you think that is?
let go.
Do you think they're not in touch with what's going, or
A, they're not in touch, and secondly, there's this kind of thing in hip hop and with the fans as well to not embrace new stuff and be like, yo, remember back then, remember this guy back then, it's not as good as it used to be back then, this is what it was. Hey, back then it was live.
it depends.
back then, I remember back then.
Everyone knows about back in the day, innit?
See what he's saying
Get
there,
me?
back then.
You get me? But that's how you grow old, and if you don't evolve and embrace stuff, you know what I mean? You end up starting to sound like your granddad. He's like, all this bang bang music. But you have to kind of evolve and embrace what's going on. You don't need to compromise your style as an artist, but just understand that things move on, and we have to help new stuff flourish through.
Okay, so with the new stuff,
Yeah.
I see as you was rolling in, you was Snapchatting away.
Yeah.
You and Jazz were Snapchatting at the same time.
I got
like,
draped
opposite
into
side
this.
of me.
Yeah.
So like, would you ever consider doing like a reality TV show?
Reality TV.
Yeah, like you and Shay, like.
Oh Lord,
I've done those kind of things over here?
Shay's. Let me just confirm. Shay's in the background giving it the no, so that means it won't happen. But
What if the check was right?
hey, if the check's right, I'm down. Nah, seriously. No, I don't really compromise myself that much. But do you know what it is about the whole Snapchat thing? I only jumped on it Thursday.
Yeah.
Recent, yeah?
Yeah.
But it kind of suits me. I enjoy that kind of stuff more than Twitter. I got dragged into it kicking and screaming because really, if I had my own way, I would have just done it at Facebook and like, please, do we need an Instagram? Do we need a Twitter? Do we need all these things?
Yeah.
Because I'm a rapper that was been about before social network.
Oh, you sounding like that old.
I know. But then I have to embrace these new things, and let me just get real. Snapchat, I actually find it a lot of fun. It gives
fun,
me,
it
gives me a
dope, man.
chance to express myself in a way. Yeah, so I enjoy it, man.
Everyone's smiling in the room right now.
Yeah. What, are we in agreement? Snapchat cool?
Big Ben, no, you're not on Snapchat.
Snapchat is the most real, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I thought
It's just a little clip.
So, but that little clip. So I was saying that little clip is like a reality TV show.
It is a bit,
itself.
yeah.
It's like you've got your little show of your life and what's going on.
That's
you know
what I'm
I mean?
saying. That's what it is, man.
I
I'm
was
down.
saying that
see.
I would watch you two show, and if you want, you can call it Exotic Beige if you want. Like, if you feel like, I'm just pointing it out.
Where does he get this stuff from? Where does he get his material
I'm
from?
coming to watch the show. Like,
Exotic
if you
page.
Hashtag
Hashtag
exotic.
shopping it? These are like you shopping it.
Listen, man.
Endemol. BBC, are you listening here?
Where's the production companies at? I'm down.
Yeah.
Look out, Exotic Beige, the reality show's
So
coming.
you're fully roped. You're in it now. You're in it.
I'm in
Not
it
the,
now.
Not the Instagram.
Yeah.
But the Instagram as well. The selfie.
No, do you know what?
The selfies.
The selfies. No, listen. I can't. No one can compete with Nova and Shady.
Love me.
Nova's on a level.
I'm new in the game.
Can I just say, I did my research afterwards because I was saying about Shade million, and then I clocked. I'm like, Nova's about the hashtag selfie life.
It was about this life, bro.
Done though.
Fully, yeah.
Like, as we were leaving that day, Noah was taking selfies.
Yeah,
I
that's
took
what it is.
selfies in the downstairs in the
like,
studio.
wow.
Do you know what? I took
couldn't
about
even wait.
5 in the next week
There you
because I was
go,
just
yeah.
like, you know what? Now we've spoken about
That's
it.
it,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
it.
Let's
Now
set
it's
it
out
off.
the closet. That'll
It's
work.
out.
easy,
Like, I
bro.
can't, do you know what? I could probably be taking selfies between every 10 minutes between now and the rest of my life, and I'll still have some catching up to do to catch up to Shay and Nova. They're on their levels.
So what? Do you give angle advice? We've heard.
I
that
said,
you-
no, I've learned. I've become an expert at this
by osmosis.
because Shay, and shout out her sister Vanessa, has taught me about angles. I know that if I shoot the shot from a certain angle,
So you'd be good at
Ain't
it.
no
then.
one
Get
talking.
involved, man.
No one's gonna talk to me for the next. It's a problem. So I know I have to get tall. As tall as I am, I still have to do this tiptoe. It has to be kind of a downward.
Man said I have to get
Downward shot. Man's rolling
No,
with
you're
one
right,
of them
you're right.
little
Man, I have to
step
take the shot
ladders.
from above a little bit. Still.
Man's rolling with one of them little step ladders.
Nodding at me.
Yeah, I'm rolling with one of them little step ladders, and they say, "Yeah, take the shot." I'm just like, "Yeah, pull out the step ladder. Doop, 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 doop. There we go, snap, and then we're away." Yeah.
Oh, that's,
So,
that's
like,
peak, man.
keep-
You're
keep-
taller than everyone in here as
Sorry.
well,
Keeping
man.
Keeping it though, keeping it on the selfie talk.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you get, Shay takes a lot of selfies.
Yeah.
Puts them out there.
Yeah.
They get like loads of fucking.
Yeah, she does,
I'm
yeah.
about to swear.
Yeah.
They get loads of likes. Do you ever get wound up like by all the man them like hitting up her inbox and that? We talked about this last time.
Oh, man.
They're crazy
know what?
likes.
No,
They're
do you know what?
crazy late night
What it-
likes. Like, what you doing though, fam? I know you from the rap game.
What
allow
it is? No, what it is? Oh, now it's getting deep. Oh, now it's getting deep. No, what it is with Shay, and I say this to any of the man them out there, yeah. Make sure if you get a girl, man, if you don't trust them, yeah, then your relationship's in jeopardy from start. With Shay, maybe one day I'll be like more fool me, but I really don't believe that's the case. I trust her.
Yeah, no, of course,
so
of
deep.
course.
So it's like even when these fools come up on there, I sit and I laugh. I'm like,
Shots
yeah,
fired.
she's not remotely interested, bruv. Forget about it. I've seen some horrificness on
That's
her
what I'm
inbox.
saying. That's what I was really trying to get.
I've seen parts of a man's genitalia that another man shouldn't see.
Whoa.
And they get blocked out
Wow.
quickly. Yeah, they get blocked out quickly. Well,
This is the funny thing because like in the MySpace days, like people was like just hitting up pages that just had a pretty girl on and you used to be able to like put a song on your page.
Yeah.
So at the time when I was young and I had the bright idea that I would set up a fake account. So I made like a catfish.
You're
account.
that
I made a catfish account.
fly trap.
Like early with just a picture of a buff chick.
You're
and then
that
I put my
dude.
song
With
on
my
it. Had my
song
song
on
on
the
it.
page,
I
yeah.
used it to promote like, listen to this album and
Them
for a
tactics.
little while,
The
yeah.
inbox
For a
was
little
a
while, but
madness.
the inbox was insane. I'm saying like rappers in the game, like the man
people
them
might
know,
know.
like my brethren.
don't
You
call
know what I'm
them
saying?
out.
Like DJs on big stations.
Leave 'em.
I'm not gonna say none of them. You get me?
know
I'm thinking
essays
I'm
and
thinking
that. I
you might
remember
see
that.
the same kind of stuff.
But you know what? On the flip side, yeah, I can't even if a female goes, "Hey, like your tune."
Yeah.
But if she puts a winky face on the end, not even a kiss, a winky face, yeah, I just turn. You ain't seen Shay's death stare, yeah, but I just turn to my right, and the look is like I have to justify the use of that emoji. I'm like, the winky is kind of like it's like, are you cool? There's nothing suggestive about it, you know.
Ah, boy, yeah.
It gets
I'm
peak.
with you.
But I can't lie, the winky face is mad suggestive.
I
would.
Hey, man code.
Yeah.
You know how these girls move, innit, Shay?
Big Ben, man.
You're,
Come on, bruv.
You're trying to cover up the kiss with the winky
Nah, it's
face.
real talk. It goes
We
both
see-
ways out
we
here,
see.
for real though. For real
Yo,
though.
Shay, them winky faces, you need to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, don't, man. My life's hard enough, man. My life's hard enough as it is, man.
Yeah, man, I can hear that though.
So yeah, man, yeah.
No.
I want to shout out. Can I just shout out everyone just randomly while I get opportunity? shout
go for
out
it, man.
everyone because I've done one of them. You know, I'm new school with it. I'm doing one of them live posts on my Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
Which
yeah,
I never
okay.
normally do, and I'm getting a lot of interaction and love. So I want to shout out everyone. I saw my cousin Jackie on there. I saw my brother Deadly Hunter, who I used
Yes,
to
shout
travel
out
with.
Deadly
Shout
Hunter.
out Greg Blackman. Yeah.
Yes, always.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
If he's locked in, I just want to say, bruv. Yeah. We ain't even met like that, but I feel like there's a kindred spirit. I really like Greg Blackman.
Because I spoke to him for years. I never met him, and then I done this radio show
I just
thing,
love
and
this
we're
dude,
doing a
man.
freestyle together.
Yeah, I just love this
I've
dude.
never met him before.
Shout out
I'm
Greg
good.
Blackman, and he's a mad talented artist as
mad
well.
talented.
The artwork that he does is
Yep,
right on
yep,
my
yep.
street. So shout out Greg Blackman. Obviously, my brother Deadly Hunter. If you don't know, check out Deadly Hunter's music. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
My brother Dagger's locked in. Shout out my man John Saba or Bilalski as I call him. Yeah, shout out Bilal, all my uni boys. Who's that? Oh, CB, Conrad, the Hazardous Concept. Shout out Hazardous
Always.
Concept. Out, Nephilim, man. Everyone, man, the whole UK game. A lot of these people show me support me through my music career. So thank you for locking in and staying tuned and keeping me on point and keeping
Yeah,
me
man.
level-headed, man.
I see you grinding, man, and I see a lot of these
try.
people supporting you, and I see you doing a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
same
motivated by the
same
support.
with yes, but same with Shay and Genesis Elijah, the guests we had before that. Like our first 3 guests, we were saying like all of
Hardest
you
workers in
are
this
like
game.
multi-talented, like or at least like you know, you're working in multiple different areas of music and like in the scene. So you've got like your company Underworld Connect.
That's right, yeah. So we do the street promotions, like, so any guys putting on hip hop events, get at me, because we got the little flyer packs that we get together.
Yep.
We're at every Nova. You can vouch for me, bruv.
Because I'm out here.
He's out here.
You know,
Nova is certified out here, but I'm out here.
No, he's out here. Trust me. He's
if
out
I'm
here,
not at that venue,
Kingpin is really out here.
if I'm not at a venue,
I know was kind of out here.
Yeah, I used to be out there. I used to be out there.
So
I used to drink.
Nova's like I used to be, but what happened was,
and I see Kingpin everywhere from back then to now, like always.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I'm always about at the venues. I've expanded the
Everywhere.
street team. I got people ringing down my phone, wanna be out there on part of the street team and doing the promotion. So any promoters that need help, like filling up their venues, they want to promote their event, get at me. It's on info@underworldconnect.com, and that's connect with a K. So Underworld Connect, it abbreviates to UK. No, in case you didn't know. Underworldconnect.com, and we just get the word spread out, because you know what it is, I've been in the game long enough that I see promoters making some bread and butter mistakes, schoolboy mistakes, you know what I mean? Not getting a flyer printed out, not doing just simple things like that could really help you get feet through the door.
Was that part of the influence of kind of going in that direction?
Yeah, because I love hip hop so much, that I want to turn up to events and like they're ram. You know, I don't want to perform to two rappers.
Like that Dynamite
who are also
performing.
I don't want to perform to the people that were coming to perform as well. I want to perform to an audience, and I know that audience exists. I know they're out there, but sometimes they're not aware. Like one of the events I was pushing recently, they were like, "Oh, what is that actually happening?" I was like, "Yeah," and they're not aware. We kind of assume, we get into this assumption that, oh, if I put an invite out on Facebook, I sent you the invite on Facebook. Bro, you and every other man sent me an invite, bro. It goes into my spam filter, rude boy. I don't even see that invite. You know how many invites I get?
And lots of events are ran because of it.
Exactly. But you know what it is? With them invites, you've almost got a filter in your head that doesn't even see the invite. You just, of all your notifications, you just bypass that.
I don't see half of them.
That's what I'm saying. So like, you got to put the work in.
For your event as well,
my album launch.
You done your album launch,
and
then Shady's album launch. Both birthdays, Dawson. Both of them was popping, man.
Yeah,
Good
nice
vibes,
turnout.
nice venue, nice turnout.
That's it.
Real
That's it. Hey, Nova went. Can I just shout out here? Because you know sometimes a host and that don't get the point. Nova went in on Shade's album launch. He even did this whole little sitting down on the stage, bro. It's getting theatrical, man put his heart out on the stage.
You know, it's too much. You know, I ain't performed that song since.
Like,
I can't. That's
that
too much
song,
for me to perform at the moment.
Nah, you should, because I tell you what, I remember that song was called Addiction, innit? And it's off
My Addiction.
Yeah.
So it's gonna come, but I just need to.
You know, in your own time, bro. But you know what I mean. I'm gonna shout out his project.
I wasn't ready to.
Look out for that when it drops, because I heard it and I was like,
Kingpin and Shay be guiding people in the game. Listen.
So on the music side also, so is Underworld Connect? Is that just a promotion team, or is it the same thing as a label for the music you're releasing?
Bro, it's my Apple. It's like, you know them ones, you know, Apple make a laptop to do an iPad in a minute. You know, well, it is like, it's all immersed in hip hop, in that hip hop environment, you know what I mean? So whether it's the street promotions, whether it's publishing people's work, you know what I mean? I want to help good artists get out there if I can as well.
Man.
I can't promise them the world, but if they need a bit of guidance or some sort of help, I can do my best that I possibly can for them. And as things expand and progress, then hopefully that will be even more of a useful tool for aspiring artists.
Man.
So I publish my work through Underworld Connect. I push the street promotions. Shay's giving me she's miming at me. What have I forgot to mention about Underworld Connect, baby?
No, I said that. Big up Believe.
I distribute my music through there, and that's in connection with Believe Digital Distribution as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
So which project did you launch that with? How many? Like, you've had a few projects out.
You know what?
So how many?
That's a controversial question, actually. To a degree, look, whether they want to say it or not, we didn't brand it, but we used the very same platforms and methods of approach that I did with the Caxton Press Shame the Devil album, right?
Okay, so that was kind of the beginning of the brainchild. Yeah,
to be honest, and it also was the beginning of the end of that group, because there was a lot of controversy about who released this, politics. It's very messy, but really,
I'm glad you brought it up. We wanted to ask me.
Come on, man.
How do we get into this?
I'm an open book. But that was one of the courses of debate, and that kind of split us up, but it was the same platform, that same medium that I used to release my projects and do stuff was the same medium
with that first.
the
I saw it work with that because you know, I've known you for a long time, but that project was getting out and about, and it was what made me like really pay attention even to you as solo stuff. I started noticing other things that, you know, that, like and the other rappers in the group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
banging project.
I don't know whether this is the same experience for you, but who was Amy True before Caxton Press?
Same.
Yeah, and she was about. Don't get me wrong, no discredit to her. I think
we met Amy True in the People's Army movement.
Yeah, but you lot
times.
But you
lot move about differently. That's why.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
at the same time, we met
right.
you though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like literally just Captain Press was popping them.
Yeah. That was a good movement. So like it got too political.
So it's just you two that really popped from Captain Press.
No, I think look, man,
Manage was around from before.
Exactly. Manage is like Manage is the old school stalwart of that whole thing, man. Really, he was like a bit of a spine of the group. You know, he was the guy that brought us together
and unified us. Chester P, baby.
Well, Manage is in a kind of a different lane. Like he has had a big influence, but if I'm being honest with you, I don't think I don't think he gets the props that he deserves, and therefore, and really, he should have more of an influence than he is. And I don't know whether some of that's part of his own devices, and some of that's part to do with the way the game's always looking in different directions. But I feel like sometimes managers really overlook because he's a sick MC. I learned a lot from him, recording techniques, performance stuff. You know, just like I learned so much from Manage. I got to give him props. He had an influence on me, no doubt. So I think
you know what I saw. You know what I never thought of that. Killer, yeah, that's it.
Killer.
But you know what? There was a time. You're right. There was a time when Manage. You're making me think now, and like that Speaker's Corner movement was going on, and he was like at the forefront of a lot of that, and he was influencing quite a lot. Like, and then you had who became Rude Adams later on.
Scandal.
You know what I mean? Who was like definitely influenced by him and working in that circle.
Look at
some good stuff going on.
You can't deny it as well. Like most people in the scene, maybe not most fans as such, but anyone who's been involved and performed at events will know DJ Snuff too. Yeah,
definitely.
You feel me? So he's one of them. He's one of them behind the scenes influences. You know,
definitely.
And Manage was kind of like the face of that.
Yeah,
he was the rap figure that stand on stage and take the heat of that thing. You know, but. You know, for whatever reason, you know, I want to see Manage put out more work, you know. But you know how difficult it is being a solo artist. I think he enjoyed that group environment, and I don't know, I can't really speak on him that much. But from my understanding, even from my own personal experience, working in a group sometimes is a lot easier. You got someone to bounce off.
I disagree.
That's
my personal experience. Okay. I can imagine it could be.
In some respects, like you're sharing a stage, so even lung capacity and that, you get to take more breathers.
You saying Managers too fat to breathe on stage?
Don't try and find shots. Don't try and find shots. But no. What it is like, you've got someone to bounce off. If a gig don't go well, you got someone to talk it out with. If a gig's amazing, you got someone to share that experience with. When you're on your own all the time, do you know how many? Come on, man. Yeah, if we were real, like I'll tell the audience, like, let me let you in on a secret. A lot of solo artists are going through some mental health issues out here because it's hard.
A lot of artists.
Shout out to everyone in the room.
Shout out Azealia Banks.
Azealia Banks.
Because there's a lot of people going through mental issues, like because this game is real tough and if you don't have someone to bounce off or someone that understands you can drive yourself mad. I'm lucky I got Shay. I'm sure Shay will say she's lucky that she's got me. We help each other through the process.
You know what? But that's another question I wanted to ask you. Like, I wanted to ask Shay this last time, and I thought I don't know if it's appropriate to talk about you two like being in a relationship and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? But like,
it's out there.
Do you find like it's really positive being in a relationship with someone who does the same kind of work that's in the same world as you? Doesn't like
not even like, you know what? It's funny because when we were first like linking up and trying to pretend that we didn't want it, we're too cool for school. Like, I was like, she said to me, I had an incident where the car wouldn't start, and she was like, "Lucky we ain't on a date, innit?" And I was like, because I was trying it on, I was thinking, "What? We ain't on a date?" And I was wounded. And so then I said, I dropped the old school. I was like, "Yeah, innit." because I wouldn't date anyone in the industry anyway. Like, return fire. But the truth, that was always my mentality. Nah, I would never get with someone in the industry and that would get political. But you know what? I must say, like, from my experience now, it's been nearly 3 years together. It's wicked, man.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
Yeah,
we help each other. We're literally the wind in each other's sails. You know what I mean? And when I'm having a down moment, she can motivate me. I can do the same on the other side of things. And if I'm going to one of her events or I'm going to something that is beneficial for her product, her album, whatever, it's beneficial for me too, because I'm networking with people I need to see, and vice versa.
Yeah, you know what? Right now you're just selling exotic beige to the world.
Exotic beige, baby.
Yo, the reality TV show needs to go out.
You're gonna get some emails, man. Radio@fliplife.tv. That's where to send us music to, also, and your sales pitch.
Can I just shout out my homies in Switzerland locked in? I'm sure it's my fellas from Dope Ship Records as well. Dope-ish or Dopes Hit Records is the best way to say it. Dopes,
I like that.
Dopes Hit Records. So shout out VR, Cammy, all the crew, Ruben, all the crew from Switzerland, man. Big love to them. Yeah,
man.
It's like my second home, man.
You know what? Like, you got. I've noticed that. I think we spoke about it before about going out to Europe and reaching out to other certain markets.
That's it, man.
And I've noticed you've managed to do that. Some artists don't. You know what I mean, they don't even look to see where the other artists, and then they get stuck here thinking, there's not really nothing for us.
I would put that down to videos, bruv. Yeah, I would say sometimes if you put stuff out, that YouTube is a global market, bruv. Yeah. And even if a video's only got 2,000 views, chances are all 2,000 are from different parts of the world.
Yeah, man.
And that introduces certain people to your music, and people in Europe are just like it's generalizing a bit, but like they love this. Yeah,
man.
I sell CDs on the road in Camden. Yeah. 90% of the people I sell to are from Europe. And do you know what they say to me? I'll be real with you. When I go like, I got that hip hop. They go, yeah, bruv, but what is it? Well, they do it in Italian, or whatever. They'll go, what is it? What hip hop is it? Trap? I'm like, no. They're like, it's got to be that real. And what that translates at is we like that boom-bap. I'll say like, I like Nas and that. They love it. So you go out there and do this stuff, and they just go nuts. And so that's why, you know, I love it, man. I love getting a chance. We got me and Shay going out to Norway in July. So we're going out to Norway to do shows. You know what I mean? It's happening, man. And that's all down to videos. Definitely down to putting videos out, which then draws in audiences from different parts of the world. And then you get that message, man.
Yeah, man. It's banging.
Yeah. Anyone from Europe, anyone around the world want to bring the crew, like, come, man. I'll drag as many rappers with me. We'll do a killer show out in Europe. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, these are the promoters to get it done. Underworld Connect.
So what's music-wise? What's the latest and the greatest we've got popping? We've got Shay's album out at the moment.
Yeah. The figure of speech. Everything's been all about Shay's figure of speech at the moment. I've just I dropped Art of Survival. I dropped Art of Survival. Really happy with that. Like the fans showed me love in January. It got like one blog gave it their album of the year, and that was down to fans' vote. So shout out everyone that voted.
I was going to ask you about that because I was trying to work that out, and I know you won some awards before. Did Caxton?
We won the album of the year through Wordplay magazine as well. So wicked. That's my last 2 releases. Both
award.
Yeah, both award winners. I ain't saying that. I'm saying, you know,
stunting out here, like stunting.
I ain't saying, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's the difficult thing as well, because there's not a lot of award things for us out there. Do you think we need more of that, or we need more recognition by the award ceremonies that do exist?
Maybe, man. I think so. You know, because I even put that out on Facebook because I was longlisted for a Mobo as best independent hip hop, and knew this ain't gonna happen. Yeah. Because it was even before. I'm probably gonna get assassinated as I leave the building, because it was at the stage before it's supposed to get public, before it's the short list. Yeah. And I just knew for a fact when I saw the names. The publicity that goes behind these people, the networks that are supporting them. I'm not getting love from those networks, so I was already.
But you might as well say I was walking
somehow. But it was like I was walking into a boxing fight with both hands tied behind my back, my legs tied up, wearing a blindfold, up against Liddy, Anthony Joshua.
Artist, you know,
up against Bowie 3.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And just getting smashed
South and the whole of South.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was a problem,
depending on which year.
Exactly. It was
shout out to all them lot though.
It was a problem. So I just knew, like, I think sometimes like the area of hip hop that I'm part of is somewhat overlooked by mainstream world.
And
I don't know why.
What do you call that area of hip hop? I mean, like, what do you like?
It's the boxes, isn't it?
There's so many boxes.
Yeah, I think like, look, a lot of my influences are like, I can't lie. Like, I like a lot of the 90s hip hop. Yeah, I'm trying to come up to date, guys. I'm trying. And I am trying to embrace new stuff. But a lot of the stuff I really love is like 90s hip hop. So obviously it comes through, I listen to a lot of Nas or whatever, Showbiz and AG and digging in the crates and all that, and it comes through in my music, and I don't want to just, this is the trend now, let me do that. Really, I'm about doing what I enjoy doing and doing what I love doing,
and that's what you should do as an artist.
Exactly. If you go for something, shout out Reveal, he kind of said this one. If you go for something, you got to go all in. Yeah. So, I'm not one of them guys that go, hey, should I do a trap joint now? Because that's what's the lick. Because then I'm going to have to change who I'm collabing with, change what I'm wearing, change who I'm tweeting. It kind of, otherwise you look like one of them guys that's dipping their toe in. When you see someone and you're like, bro, what are you doing, bro? That don't even... I don't
know, man. I respect the artist that stays in their lane and knows what they want to do, and I respect the artist that experiments. I try and do,
Yeah, but Nova, the thing about you is you're like, I'm not gonna say you're just genuine, bruv. Yeah, like I can't. If it's not, it don't look like you're trying it. But sorry, bruv. but I've seen certain artists.
There is a skill to it, though.
There's probably a skill to it. There is.
I don't do it a lot. I'm trying to more now. Like, I got new stuff coming that is gonna be like that. But I just feel like, I don't know. I'm in that box. Like I'm a UK hip hop artist. Now they're doing like boom-bap and calling things boom-bap. But I'm like a quote-unquote UK hip hop artist because that's where the scene I come from. I'm stuck with that. You know what I mean? But
and it's a little bit of a curse, isn't it? Because I think like that whole thing is kind of toxic. Yeah. But I feel like, you know what? It's like I want to repossess it and turn it into something that's not toxic and turn it into something that can be loved. You know what I mean? Because truthfully, a lot of the people that getting success from the boom bap era is like, some of it, like some of the movement in boom bap, it's not my kind of hip hop, even though it's in that boom bap bracket. This is going to be hard for people to understand, but it's because I don't want to name names and fire shots. But some of the movement that's going
under the bus, man.
Some of the movement that's going on isn't like the whole vibe of it, the whole content, the whole delivery, the whole swagger is like, it's not me. And I feel like boom bap can have a diversity about it, and there's certain artists that are overlooked. So like, for example, one artist I really like, a guy called Awate. He's not no big deal to everybody. Most people might not know him.
He's been coming to my yard lately.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So like, but like what he does, it seems like there's no space of that. None of that is being acknowledged, and I feel like that's a space I like. I like Coops. You know, Coops? Now, his sound is boom bap, and I like the way he delivers. I like what he talks about, his subject, the way he comes in. I'm like, I want to see more diversity within that realm of boom bap. So it's not just about bobbly, crusty tracksuit bottoms, crushed up beer cans, and man's talking about being a waste man. But actually, other stuff like like street level stuff, and like taking pride in like coming from communities and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, man.
Now shout out to Coops and Awate. They're both good examples.
There you go. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to let's bring some of that. Let's bring some of that into this boom bap sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, so the last album, Art of Survival, still out now.
Still a bloody masterpiece, mate.
We didn't get to play. We didn't get to play nothing. Like usually on the show, we try and play some of the guest music as they're coming out.
Have I waffled my way out of actually getting my own music?
No, we're gonna play something. Well,
we ain't doing like that.
The subject of today's show kind of like drove the music we were playing, so we had to play them. So we played the Rodney P, Chester P, and the influences. Who was saying, like we was mentioning, and who was being mentioned on Facebook.
But now my multi-million fans are demanding,
and they already made a bunch of demands on the video. Brian,
Colin Beadle,
Colin Beadle.
He was saying MC Mello and Rodney P, and who else did he say? It was. Yeah, he's dropped another name.
Mello, that's another one. I mean, it's going back. You know, like this debate has been quite like driven by
the first to be the UK,
our age group and our generation, because we are missing probably a bunch of. We're missing the Demon Boys, the people we didn't know. We kind of went with Rodney P, who influenced
Who
seen
stayed on?
by
He stayed on.
spitting in a, you know, in a British accent. But yeah, he stayed active. But there's a whole wave of artists in between him and Chester P.
And you know what? I know for a
And before
fact.
some of them.
I know for a fact a lot of people that are into my music probably would half expect me to say 2 artists. This the artist. I give you one guess who I get compared to the most. Shay's laughing, she knows.
don't know,
And you
you
two
know.
are looking
I don't
bad.
know.
I'm glad.
I don't know.
Is it UK artist?
UK
Yeah,
artists.
that's what I was thinking.
I can't believe you even have to think about it.
I don't think.
Hey, shout out anyone on my Facebook live
gonna
post.
say
If you
Jake
type
Lowe.
it first,
like your
you're getting
style,
props.
yeah. You've got a kind of specific style. I was going to ask you this earlier.
Let me
actually,
do
as well,
this.
yeah.
Let me do this. Maybe this will help. Might not.
No, I don't know if it's helping, man. Like you got the Skippy fast.
Low key.
Oh, low key.
She said it.
Okay. I don't hear.
Listen.
What can I say? You
Let
look
me
like
get
him,
real.
though. I don't hear that. I don't hear that.
Let me just get real
man.
with you, bruv. If you look through every video, look through the comment and
Yeah.
spot the low key shout. Yeah, I get low key a lot, and like obviously with that comes the whole Akala thing. So a lot of people put me in
I
this
think that's content
low
to do
key.
with content or.
But a lot of stuff
I
gets
don't
called
know, man.
content.
You got like a
just
Skippy
because it's
flow,
not
like that. I
negative
think
and,
I don't know many
you know.
people do over here a lot.
Yeah. I don't know whether I don't know
You
where
can get
it
thrown
comes
in the
from.
barrel for just
Yeah.
not saying negative stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll
Yeah,
like put
I
you
don't
in a
know
box.
how I got. Even if I listen, I swear it's gone so deep now that if I did a tune called "Rolling with My B's and My Ends," sipping on gin and juice while shotting food in the hood, I'd still be called a conscious artist.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's that Skinny Man. Earlier when he was talking about "I'll Be Surprised" and all them songs, that whole Council of State of Mind album is a gangster rap album. But he gets that conscious love. Like,
Yeah, straight.
Like everyone considers him a conscious rapper because of the lack of negatives. In
So it is what it is, and I think sometimes if you're analytical about society and you're making social observations, I guess that's what being conscious is. And you know, I was at Hip Hop Ed the other day, so I am kind of conscious, man. Shout out Hip Hop Ed, yeah. Shout out Hip Hop Ed. What a movement, yeah. But I was at a Hip Hop Ed thing, which was like a conference about people that educate within hip hop, because that's something that I do as well. And like, they were even saying like every hip hop is conscious hip hop because some of the most negative, misogynistic music opens up some amazing
I'm so glad
debate.
you said that. You know, I'm so glad you said it because I've had this argument on Facebook so many times, and people will like someone. I don't even want to throw man under the bus and that. You get me? But like, I was talking about gangster
He's
rap
loading up
music.
to shot
Yeah,
fires.
like the man them have mentioned that already. But like man like Snuff was arguing with me on Facebook.
Hey, listen, Snuff will argue with
Snuff was
himself
like-
in a room.
Snuff was
blacks.
like, all right, if it's not,
down.
he was like, if it's not a political like message, then it's not hip hop. And I was like, so what? Like, so you're saying gangster rap, like from the West Coast in the 90s is not hip hop? Like Snoop Dogg's not hip hop? And he said no. He denied this to me later on. He's like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So I think you know, it's probably out of context and he got caught in the moment. You know what I'm saying? But like to me, like NWA, like you take back the gangster rap thing, like they were talking about things that were going on, and it highlighted issues. Like that people weren't paying attention to, like, and it highlighted things that, like, even if they're saying it, even if they're glorifying it, then
know what it
suddenly
is?
people are talking about it.
With NWA in it, they're a product of their society, and by being outspoken on that, what it does is bring to attention, this is
Exactly.
what's going on. Look, I'm a product of this, and this is how I gotta get my. So that's political in itself. But then, even like as we said as well, like some of the most crazy misogynistic things, like even some of the stuff you were talking about, you know, in terms of female rappers and that. When you hear all this misogyny, it still opens up debates. So like me as an educator in hip hop, if a kid starts busting some stuff where I'm like, bro, I'll stop and say, what is that? Is that what you believe? Is that how you move? And then it opens up a debate. And it's still through hip hop. And we can deliver some consciousness and think about what's their perspective on this. So even just the fact that it opens up the conversation and debate, that's what's beautiful about hip hop. We can have this discussion. Even through some most crazy ignorant stuff, we can discuss the fact that it's ignorant.
In some crude, grimy ways, we can come to some truth.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think we should get something playing right now. We only got a little bit left of the show. Shout out to everyone that's been locked on. So we're gonna run something from the album. What we're gonna give?
You know what? Given the nature of what we've been talking about, I want to go practice what I preach. You know,
We're gonna go with practice.
because I've been
what I
preaching,
preach,
innit? So I might as well practice what I preach right now. You know what I mean?
And when we get back, you can tell us what you think about twerking in videos.
Oh man, have you
Yeah,
not
after
seen my
last week's
twerk? Have you seen my last Snapchat? No, I'm joking.
Man, shock faces.
playing.
I want to see
Yeah,
that less
man.
than Shady's inbox.
Yo, but
Trust me, you know.
listen, after this one, we're gonna get into this one, practice what I preach, and then we're gonna like wrap up the debate a little piece before we're out of here.
Cool,
but
cool.
before we even go into it, also like tell them where they can hit you up.
At Kingpin London is my Twitter. If you want
Snapchat.
my Snapchat is kingpin.london. Yeah, I'm plugging that now. So kingpin.london, which is very much up to the minute. That is my most up to the minute at the moment. And Facebook is /Kingpin London as well. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, /Kingpin London.
And Instagram.
And Instagram is Kingpin_London. I need to find
All
that.
versions of.
I know, should be
need to
consistent.
sue Marvel.
But you know what it is? Nah, there's some faking it dude who's got my handle on Instagram. Like, come on, allow it,
wow,
bruv.
wow.
So Kingpin_London for Instagram, which I'm not
If
so active
anyone
on.
knows that guy as well.
Innit?
give
Shots
him a backhand,
fired, man.
please.
And what's the last one is my Bandcamp, which is very important to me
Oh,
because it's a
definitely,
great medium
definitely.
for me to sell actual hard copies and product.
Yeah,
so
man.
that this is complicated. Get your pen and paper out. It's kingpinlondon.bandcamp.com. So kingpinlondon.bandcamp.com.
It really winds me up that they do it the other way around.
come on.
They're an amazing platform, and it's them and Tumblr, the two things that do it in this weird format. But shout them out anyway.
Anyway, yeah. So get my music from there, man. Please do.
You know what I mean? All right, we're gonna get into this from the album
Art of
Kingpin,
Survival.
Art of Survival. Practice what I preach. It's Flip Life Radio, PyroRadio.com.